obviously I cut a hole in the hood, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to embark on this journey again, make the scoop functional. So originally it had the chrome boomerang there, which is right here, and that bolts in to the Falcon hood. 62 to 63 is the same hood. So I cut the scoop out, the structure that holds that boomerang in place, and thinking, I didn't really picture it in my head like this, but as soon as I took the boomerang off, I realized how much width is here on the front edge of that scoop. So what I'm going to do is mimic this shape here on this upper panel on both sides, and the way it flows around and the little curve here. I like that little detail. But I also realized how much this kicks up. This angle right here kicks up quite a bit from this corner. So what I want to do is flatten that out, dive straight in, and then I'm going to come around here with these pieces, curve it in like that. So it'll look like the original scoop was just welded to it and cut open. I'm really, the other hood, the whole reason I got a new hood is because when I split this, welded the flat hood, I have no experience TIG welding flat sheet metal like that, and it warped all to hell and back. So it's a potato chip and it's ruined. So all the work on that one was just a learning curve and a learning experience to not do that, in my opinion. Don't go that route if you don't know what the hell you're doing. You will ruin the hood. Same goes for like a roof. If I ever chopped a roof, I'd be terrified. But you got to do it. You got to learn. I just need a little more experience doing it. So this time, what I'm going to do is not cut the scoop open. I'm just going to make it functional. I will also get rid of the structure underneath, and I'll cut it like I did here. I cut that and made the hood latch. It still attaches there. It's all still going to stay the same. And I've got to cut the leading edge of that off of this one to clear the structure that I built underneath there on the front end of the car. So I still have a lot of work to do to this hood, but all that didn't warp the hood. This cutting and welding this flat sheet metal is what warped it. So we're not going to do that, and we're going to try to avoid the pitfall that I created with that one. But that one will live on. I'm going to go ahead and cut the front edge of the scoop here, this section off of that hood, and I'm going to use it to extend here. Use that to make this piece here, since it's the same gauge and all that. And it kind of seems to be the case with Build a Car. Something from the previous part of a past project has made its way onto the car, mostly in sheet metal, because when you cut a car, you rebuild an old car, you're going to cut out old panels. So you got all this good sheet metal laying around, and sometimes it's got the shape you want and things of that nature. So sometimes it's good to hoard that and keep it in your pile of things to keep. So welded a rod in here to kind of keep the structure. That'll give me a target, and that way I know it's in the same spot where I cut it. And go ahead and shave off the letters here. This car was originally a gold color. You can tell the original coating, the primer, and then whatever that black color is, and then gold. And then someone spray painted over that with looks like a red oxide primer maybe. But it is not going to be a stock car, so the hoods ain't stock. And luckily I found a good solid hood that will fit the bill. And go on from there. We're going to keep trying. If I have to go through 2 or 3 hoods, I'm going to get this scoop right, and I'm going to get it fitted the way I want it, and it's going to look great and function. I'm pretty hard-headed, so, it is what it is. But that's how you learn, You got to think about the positives of it. I learned that I can't weld a flat piece of steel without warping the poo-poo out of it. So anyway, we'll keep yapping. Well, I'll quit yapping and get to work, and we've made a pretty good bit of headway today on that. I'm just going to I need to make this inner panel on the bottom first, and then I'll have a target for this to dive into, because it does kind of go in here a little bit. So All right, so I've got a pretty good start to the bottom edge there. Need to go ahead and flatten that out because that hurt. So now I can work on the scoop edge there. Obviously I cut a lot more than I need. So I'm gonna cut down in here, and what I'll have to do is just add a little bit of weld or something like that to kind of get that curve going in the corner. And should be just fine. So I'm gonna cut off, let's go with about half of that. Still need more. Getting there. I still think it's a pretty good little scoop to pull in some fresh air. Not too much. So I made a lot of progress on this hood. Got the inner structure, the X-brace cut out of the middle of it, and I'm using it for patching in this panel here. I got to fill this corner in on both sides so that I can put my hood latch assembly there. And then I'll come in here and fill this in so it'll be a nice uniform piece. This is hood version 2.0. I gave up on the other hood. I warped the mess out of it and it's too far gone. So started a new one, got another one from Marketplace. It's in good shape. A little rust, 60-some-year-old part. You know, it's not in terrible shape at all. So I'm gonna get in here and treat all this rust before I continue and close this panel out. I will use some parts from the old hood. I got the leading edge of the top of the hood there for the sheet metal. And I'm gonna fit that in here and close this out because all the latch assembly had to be moved and recessed more. And the latch itself, the original latch is gone. I had to get rid of it to clear the front nose cover. So all this is temporarily welded in place, and I want to get this in place. And I want to use an original piece of this sheet metal. I want to use this transition, this curve, to match all this so that it continues all the way around in one continuous shape. And it flows, and it looks like it was put there on purpose and not just patched in and look like poop. I want it to look like the Ford could have possibly stamped it that way. And hopefully when I get done with it, it kind of looked like this. I didn't clean this up as good as I could have, but the transition, the curve, and all that, I want to get that in there. It's OEM feel. I did make it functional though, so I've already got that cut out and molded in and welded. I've still got a little bit of cleanup doing my welds, but some mud and some grinding work make you a hell of a welder. To get my piece here fitted the other day, and had to stop working on it because other things got popped up. So we'll get the other side caught up, get this wrapped up here shortly. Probably won't be this week. Got a pretty busy week, and holidays are coming up, so progress on the old project car slows down to a crawl. But I do have some parts ordered. Santa Claus is going to be nice to me this year, so hopefully that'll push the progress bar up a little more, and we'll get this thing in gear and get it running really soon. So we'll get some of these pieces and parts cut and fit and put in, and we'll go from there. put it there. I need to pull this down.
Well, this is okay. I'm holding that right there, but this is what.
You push that down hard, it pulls that up. So if you let that go, push that down. It's still in the same spot.
That's not bad, really. Give you a little room for your adhesive. Maybe bend this flange here up, not twist it, just bend it in. Look at this, so you don't bend it. Let's cut that out right there.
Wondering about this part. I don't want it to be bumped up and then back down.
We could
Also,
tap.
I gotta come up a little bit, but
Yeah.
a lot.
We're tapered a lot, so get that.
Also, right here is not flat. Here, pushing it up, and the rest of the dies back.
So
And that gets cut away. Before I
cut some of that off.
Huh?
Cut some of this, both of these. Cut this off so we can. Put a tack right there? Yeah. Fits pretty good, doesn't it? I think I would tack it on the hood so that you can get it right here. That lap over it is, isn't it?
As you can see, quite a bit of work there to that hood. We got the inner structure fitted. I got my curved panels here fit really nicely. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It's nice and factory-ish looking. I'm gonna get in here, make a pattern of that and fill that in, and then I gotta sink in the hood latch that I've got here. I gotta sink that part in the new hood. But so far everything is fitting really good. This was the outer portion of the old hood. So I use it as an inner skin, and we sank that in there a lot. And I'm liking the way everything's turning out. What I need to do is figure out a way to bend this end over to mimic this look here, but it tapers to nothing at the end. So it's going to be a little bit difficult there. I've got to figure out a way to get that shape there, that lap over. Actually, I don't need to bend it much. I'm just going to trim it and maybe just round the edge over and weld it to this since it's already there. Probably be better. That way I don't have to try to figure out that taper. Well, I got a little coating of rust inhibitor or whatever you want to call it. It's OSFO, been tried and true for me for years. So coated it, all the bracing that was never painted underneath it. You know, they just slapped these hoods together and none of this was painted. I was really surprised that wasn't as crusty, more crusty than normal. Try to get into all the surfaces and let that dry. Probably won't get to finish it up today. So got some other things going on, so I still got to do the other bracing here and weld that up, and we'll weld it in place, and maybe another day or two I'll get this wrapped up, and Hood 2.0 will be a wrap. So we'll see what we can come up with, and hopefully this will dry soon. It's kind of cold, so I don't know if that affects it. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it did. So, you know, got to be patient. I'm going to move on and let this sit. Well, all the rust treatment stuff is dry, and I'm going to clean the hood and get it prepped. Do some painting underneath all these panels. I went ahead and cut the old hood latch piece here that I had made before and cut it off the old hood. I do need to cut out a couple little patches here to actually house that. I'm going to trim that up and clean it up and get all that rough metal off of it, but I'll cut a couple pieces off of that hood to patch this hole. Still got to get these pieces welded in and this front edge welded in, so we will do that. I'm not going to video that because that will bore you guys to death. It's just a bunch of tack welds and then metal finish it. So I will go ahead and get rid of this hole. I don't know what that's for, and probably fill these holes in too while I'm at it, while I'm up here. Other than that, I got rid of all the other holes that were in this middle structure and all that good stuff. So these are going to be drains, so I'll leave those. And yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, I think they're looking pretty good. Got all my pieces welded in. Just got to go through and grind them. I went ahead and got my hood pin pieces fit, and pretty stoked about it. It's looking really good. It's almost like the factory stamped it that way, and that's the idea. I got the scoop pretty well sorted out. I got a little metal shaping here on the corners just to kind of get it rounded over. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be the best metal man, so it's gonna need some filler, and that's okay. We can put some fill in it. That's okay. I don't know who I'm trying to convince, me or you, but got the scoop opened up pretty well, and I think it's pretty even. It's hard to say. One side might be a little bit more unique than the other, but I'm going to let it ride because I'm afraid I'm going to warp this hood more if I keep working it and cutting it and fitting it. But I think it's all right. So got all the lettering filled in, and we're good to go. Do a rough sand on the whole hood and get it down. It's really good and scratched, and do some fill work on it. And I think I'm going to be sending this on down the road, or at least just right over there, and put it on the car. But you know, I'm keeping this hood. Had a little bit of oil canning here, so I just ran a weld on it right there. I didn't want to dig the torch out and all that junk, but I put a little hot spot on it there and cooled it down quickly, and it pulled it out, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, like I said, I believe that's going to be a wrap on this hood, so time to do some body work on it and get it in primer. I think that's going to be a wrap on this week's project on the hood. I did go ahead and get the wheels re-drilled. Well, I drilled the hubs and got some 18-inch steel wheels fit, and I just got to get some smaller tires. It's going to be much more than probably half of that sidewall clearance, so I'll have enough room. I'm hoping I don't have to dig into this and start modifying that a little bit, but if I do, I do. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, hood's done. As far as metal work is concerned, I think I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching Big Lake Hot Rods. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and get out there, get in your garage, and get after it. We'll see you next time.